What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Land of the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we are here at the end. I can't believe I made it. This has been a long week of building this model. I chose to get this for Matt for Christmas. It is currently Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'm going to see him today, but it's ready for him. I didn't think I was going to get here, and it was a lot of work to get here. It was really satisfying going through all the work, testing my skills, and we've reached the last episode. We have finished an actual model, and I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty proud of the work. Obviously, there's some skills that I need to develop. I need to work a little bit more on some of my paint work and some of my specifically my putty work. I need to get some proper spatulas. I need to get some proper things. So, lesson learned. But yeah, like overall, I'd say that I'd give this about an 8 out of 10. So we went ahead and finished up. At the end of the episode, we saw that we went ahead and took care of this side of detailing and getting all of the individual panel lines taken care of. Let's go ahead and separate it from the model, from the stand real fast. And I went ahead and got the bottom done as well. And along here and along here. Down here, it didn't want to take so well, and so it kind of washed out a little bit. It also didn't want to take down here as well. And I also cleaned up some of the paint. I didn't like the work that I had done down there, and so I went ahead and just redid it as the base color, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it again one more time. So yeah, overall, really pleased with the quality of the model. I hope Matt likes it. So the name of the game today, to finish up the model, is, of course, we're going to have a little beauty shot at the very end. One of my favorite things to do is kind of shooting those things. But today we're going to start by finishing applying all of our paint. And then from there, we're going to be applying the decals. Now, the decals are a long and involved process. So what I'm going to do off camera is take care of everything except the top of the saucer section. And then once I'm ready to get up to the saucer section, the top of the saucer section, because it's just going to be easier for us to look at it and do it while it's on the stand, we will take care of all the decals on the top. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and do our protective spray coat afterwards. And then we're going to go ahead and do our beauty shot. So let's go ahead and get into painting, shall we? So I have all the colors left that I want to paint today. We're going to be starting with the bronze. And then the bronze is applied to the nacelles up in this area. And then on the deflector dishes. And so I need to go ahead and clean up those pieces from the paint job and all of the rest. I'll just get a little bit of our bronze paint in there. We are going to use our fine paintbrush for this one. Make sure we're all ready to roll. Lit up some paint. Unload the paint, and then let's just go ahead and try to get into the nacelles here. Just trying to finish up some of the edging work. Just clean it up. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. This is the last thing I did. I worked on this all day yesterday. Literally all day yesterday. It was a long day of building this model. I did it all in one shot, and with pauses for breaks to eat, and getting offloading stuff onto the computer and what have you. It's before these couple of episodes, or this final episode, it's like 115 gigs of stuff that I need to edit. So I'm giving myself some work. I'm not sure when I'm going to release these episodes. Obviously, it's Christmas time. We got other series going on right now, and I just totally boofed this one here. Go ahead and take my fingers. That actually wound up working out okay. A little too much paint was on the brush. I'm thinking I'm going to drop the first episode this week. The Enterprise hasn't shipped yet, and I'm going to need... I thought about doing a What We've Done episode, and I may still, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. So I may drop this on Friday, this coming up week. If not, then we'll see it at some point. Just cleaning up back here. All our connection points. Get that excess paint off. This is actually airbrush paint. I have a bunch of colors for airbrush paint, so I didn't want to just go buy a bunch of testers. I've just been buying testers paint as I need it. Because that's kind of a pricey investment. So it's kind of nice having the airbrush paint. It paints on just nice with the brush as well. Just as nice. Okay, and I think that does it for our bronze. Go ahead and clean up my brush. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back to do our gold. And when I did the gold, I kind of mixed it with a little bit of the bronze on accident, and I'm not going to do that again. So I'm trying to get just the gold. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm going to try to just get the gold. Jeez, Jordan. Okay. So where we're going to be applying the gold, quite literally, is just right up here. I, for some reason or not, just did not finish painting this piece up here. I gotta be careful. I'm not gonna be putting too much there. Just kind of finish off the look. This took like 3 coats of paint in order to get for the gold to stick really well. So I'm just gonna kind of try to give it the hint of gold, but I hadn't finished that. There we are. All right, so that's a little bit of the mix is what I'm looking for here. I'm just kind of mixing a little bit off to the side. That's what we're going to use for the tips of our deflector dishes. Now the one on the bottom deflector dish unfortunately broke. And it's to replace it would require a lot of work that I don't want to do. So we're not going to do it. It's a little nub now, and it will end up looking okay. It looks okay. This is a custom model anyway. Will end up being nothing like what they were wanting. It's like a hybrid refit enterprise. It's like they have to take it out on a mission real fast. All right, so that does it for the gold. Let me go ahead and clean my brush. I'll be right back. Okay, and now we're going to be moving on to our yellow paint. And when I originally did this, I had done it with the yellow, what do you call it? The yellow airbrush paint, and it's really slight. And so I went ahead and picked up some actual yellow from Testers. We're going to go ahead and apply it to our RCS quads to give it much more of an authentic look. I wasn't happy with how that turned out before, and I am happy with that color right there. Very happy. And if anybody doesn't know what RCS stands for, it's Reaction Control System. So basically it's the thrusters. That's what turns the ship. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, much better. And the one thing that I didn't do before was apply it to the sides over here, because I didn't know where the pieces were going to fit in exactly. So now we put that right here. A little bit closer, I can see that I didn't get all of the quad there. I'm going to do that here as well. And after I get around from the bottom, I'm going to apply a fresh coat around each side again one more time. Because we are painting over gray, and although it's a good base coat, I do want to get a couple of coats of each kind of paint on here, which is what we're trying to accomplish here. There are a couple of spots on the hull as well, like right through here, where I didn't spray the back for whatever reason. And so, yeah, I got to go ahead and paint along the edges there to make sure that we don't have any of the actual like model color from the factory. Getting a little bit better at painting. I feel. Yeah, that makes me happy. So now let's go ahead and get the quads on the bottom here. This has been really satisfying building this, proving the skill, things I remember from when I was a kid, but also money, so I can get the tools that I need, so to say. You know, before as a kid, like when you needed a special paint, you had to like work for it, and I was never patient enough, and so I would say that this is probably one of the most thorough model that I've ever built, top to bottom. And I'm pretty proud of the work that I did. If I'm being real. Pretty proud of the fact that I did this all in 1 week. Cannot believe I did that in 1 week. Insane. Probably could have got it done a little bit faster, but you know, managing a restaurant, had to work, and then you know, taking care of life over the holidays is really difficult. Most of everything we do is online, but sometimes you still have to get out and about. And live in the Seattle area. So getting out and about is nightmare. Absolute nightmare fuel. Traffic. In an area not built for this many people. So there we are. We got our quads taken care of. I think maybe I'll drop an extra coat on the bottom. It hasn't really had much of a chance to dry. Neither side has, but just go ahead and give them an extra little coat. Testers does dry pretty quick when you put it on thin. When you put it on thick, it takes a minute. So what we're going to be doing in this process is actually going to take a couple of hours and let this paint dry, and then I'll let the decals set, and then I have a lacquer finish that we're going to be spraying over the top to seal everything in. Alright, so there are our quads, and I'm pretty pleased with that and how that turned out. Excellent. So I think we're going to be moving on to our dark gray next. I'll be right back. I'm going to clean up my brush. Alright, we are back with our dark gray. So we're going to be cleaning up all of our parts here that we wound up having to repaint after the puttying process, and just kind of applying any darker gray where we see fit. This is the last little bit of the first bottle of it. I can go grab more if I need to, but I don't think so. Let's see here. And this is, once again, as a reminder, this is the same paint that we are currently using as the base coat on the Venator, which is pretty cool. It's a Vallejo. It's Phantom Gray. Really like this paint. Sprays really well, and it goes on really well with a brush. Way better than the Testers. Testers is a different type of paint, though. I mean, we're mixing different styles of paint here, right? So, okay. The impulse engines here. And any overdoings that we're doing here, we're going to go ahead and clean up with our base coat afterwards. Okay, those are done. We have the inside little grill here. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach painting this. Maybe like that. You guys won't be able to see too much of it, but for sake of quality, I think that's okay. Yeah, this stuff goes on real nice. That turned out really nice. Let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. I'll kind of turn it so you guys can see. Yeah, and back here, for whatever reason, the striping just did not take so well. I'm not sure why. So, yeah, for whatever reason. It's all good, though. Model has character. Okay, we're on the back of the nacelles now. These have been bothering me since I've connected them. For whatever reason, the paint just on the sprue just did not look very good. I've also painted these differently by a mistake, but once again, a bit of a custom model now at this point, so I'm not too sad about it. Supposed to be striped and so on, but you know, come on, we're good. Wasn't reading my instructions. You guys have been following along. That can be a thing. Personality flaw, I guess, so to say. Putty right there. Very nice. Oh, glad I turned that to look. Didn't see that. There we are. Impulse engines look good, but I'm going to go ahead and just toss a quick little coat on there just for the sake of having a couple of coats on. Cover up the seam. And I actually do one of these models top to bottom. It's super cool. Like, man, it was, when I bought it, I was like, oh, this is a great idea. I have content, and I'm just like, oh my god, what did you do? But thankfully I had some time off and I'm caught up on the channel, so I'm not having to stress about create a bunch of content and what have you. Been grinding really hard for the last couple weeks. Obviously, as of recording this is the first week where we had 5 episodes out. Hoping to be able to drop the Enterprise. I'm hoping to be able to maintain that standard going forward. I know that Matt's got ideas for content as well, so we could be also dropping a bunch of stuff. So if you guys are interested, keep watching. I definitely appreciate it. It's been great. This whole year, you know, I've been thinking about how to get the channel going again, and you know, podcasting. Matt and I have figured out how to do it, but you know, it's a long process. Each podcast takes hours and hours and hours and hours to edit, and you know, generally about 11 hours or so is what it takes to get a podcast out. And so, you know, it's a lot of work, and you know, we both work and we have a crazy job. So, you know, we both work at the same place, and so we talk a lot, but being able to actually do the work is kind of difficult. And so to be able to get this done and be as far along as we are, to be at 100 subscribers now is insane. 110 last I looked, actually, which is insane. When I started creating most of this content back in August, we were at like 18 subscribers, something like that. And so, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that it went much, much bigger over this time. Oh, there we are. Okay, so that's our dark gray all taken care of. And this part here in the middle is not done with a whole lot. I couldn't do any of the striping or whatever. I believe that's because that's where going to be some decals are going to be going. So I'm going to go ahead and get onto our base coat, and then we're going to be ready to put on our decals. And we are almost done, folks. This is pretty exciting. Be right back. All right, we are back for the final little bit of painting on this model, and I got to say I'm pretty relieved about that. A lot of painting. The skill is nice to develop, but I can tell you it's been a lot of painting. Lots of painting. So I'm just going to come through here, paint along the edge. And for whatever reason, I made the decision not to spray the back half of the model. Like usually I spray around the edge, and I think I was trying to be conscious about like gluing points, but it made for us to see the base coat, like the base, the plastic, the resin, the molding, the plastic or whatever. You can see the color of it right here along the saucer. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's in there. You can see just a slight different coloration there. So we're going to take care of that. Not going to go crazy. Doesn't need to be much. Very subtle, very small piece of plastic. So, and then we'll use our base coat to clean up any of our pieces that might need it. Any oversprays or any overpaints. And then from there, I think I'm going to start doing some decals. Part of the reason too is I want to do the decal work separate, like do part of it by myself. I need to practice. So yeah, I just need to make sure that like when I'm putting it on there, I'm trying to avoid letting you guys see my struggle. So my struggle can be very real sometimes, and yes, okay. So I remember last night, and for you guys in the previous episode, back here, got some paint on there. Back here there was the same molding color. So we're just going to go ahead and take care of that real fast. Just go ahead and get a second coat on there. And then from there, I'm just going to be taking a look around and seeing if I can find any oversprays or anything that needs to be addressed real fast. I think I got pretty lucky. Right here. Oh, no, too far the other direction. It's fine. That's fine. And then I think we're good everywhere. So now we're just going to go ahead and get our second base coat on here. It's really messy down here, and I figure it's okay. Where I need to work on is identifying areas that should be getting the proper type of paint, if that makes any sense. So like down here, I tried to like do a special, like, you know how the Aztecing winds up happening. So you have dark lines like what we did up top, but it just didn't turn out very well at all. So I went ahead and just repainted it. Go get some base coat around the outside here. Yeah, I just went ahead and repainted it, and I'm happier with the result. And my thought process and justification is that this is the refit, and so more modern Starfleet stuff on the bottom and the older Starfleet stuff on top. So that's what my thought is, at least. But the engineering section is a little messy, if I'm being real. So lessons learned from it, and we're going to apply it to the next models. And then right back here, I think, wow, my friends, just a little spot right here where we had some overflow. Same there. The paint wash. For a little bit of that. There's some stuff of this around, and that's fine. It actually kind of gives a little bit of character to the model. And I think with that, my friends, the paint job is complete. So I'm going to let this dry for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and apply some decals. We'll be back. All right, my friends, we are back, and we are here at the very end. I've just done all of the decals. I did some back here because they were kind of part of like the bottom part of the ship. I really just wanted to focus on the saucer section here. So let me go ahead and separate, show you what I've done. So we have here all of our decals along here. We have the bay doors. We have the NX-01s. We have some stripes. I got some stripes along here. Looks like the warp core door. Just some parts there. We have some stripes here. Ooh, looks like I need to re-glue that there. Unfortunately, she did take a tumble just a couple minutes ago. I was getting up to move, and she took a tumble, and looks like it was the nacelle that took the brunt of it. And I thought everything was fine, but we'll go ahead and get that glued back up here before the end. So yeah, and then we got this little piece right up here. So let's go ahead, and we're going to start here at the back. And we have one of the most impossibly tiny decals that we're going to start with. So what we have here, what I'm using, and if you're going to be doing any sort of model work, I'm choosing to use the testers, but this is the, what is it? What is the name of it? Glacial acidic acid, I guess. It's a decal set, and what this does is it really allows for the decals to be put in and set nicely. So we'll be able to use the brush, and what really the big purpose of the set is. Goodness me, this is such a small decal. The purpose of the set, where is it? I don't know. There you are. The purpose of the set is to allow for the decal, like it conditions the decal in such a way that it allows it to conform to like a bonding surface. I'm going to go ahead and get the number off of there real fast. It's caused some problems before. So yeah, it just conditions the surface and allows you to actually use, I mean, I'm sorry, but I have to show this to you. Look how tiny this decal is. It just says Enterprise on it. Super cool, but I got my hot water here off camera. Let me go ahead and put a little more down again. Yeah, it just allows the decal to be moved around and set. And it keeps the decals nice and conditioned, and so they don't rip. I did rip one, and it was the one that went right here. It was kind of a janky decal anyway. I wasn't really sure about it anyway, so that's what it is. So now I'm going to dry off our backing. Don't want to get too much water out and about. And what we're going to do is we're going to simply take our brush and push the decal off, if I can. Such a small decal and such a small, oh my goodness. So it's there. And that's the beauty of this stuff. Doesn't allow for me to grab it. Once the conditioner is on it, it's harder to break the decal. So now, I get it set and centered, level. It was good. There we are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our brush with this. It's right over the top. Dry off the brush, and then we're going to dry off the excess acid. Okay, so now we have these weird shaped ones here. So what they look like is this. This one, 21A, is going to go on the right side, and it's going to go like this. Okay. So, yeah, it took me probably about an hour to do all of the decals that I've done so far. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's as nice as it would be to show the entire process. It's also can be a bit tedious. Okay, so I can be liberal with the stuff that's not going to mess up with the paint. The more, the better. So you'll be able to see this a little bit better on this decal because the other one was really small, going into a really small space. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and set this down. I'm going to push it off. And it almost set exactly where I wanted it to. Almost. So let us just kind of slightly move it. It's kind of got like a little ridge that it's supposed to be sitting on. There we go. And then I'm going to dry off my brush. And I'm going to pull out all the excess solution. Just spread it around. And this helps seal the decal into place as well. So now let's get our area prepped for the next one. That maybe is a lot, but hey, you know, once again, we need it. The only barrier for that that's going to suck is we need it to dry, but we'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, this has been really satisfying. As soon as the decals go on, I was a little nervous about it. I haven't done decals in a long time, and I watched a few videos on how to approach it, what I should buy. It is Christmas Eve, and I did go to a store today, and it was my hobby shop because I can't not. Thankfully, it wasn't too busy. So I picked up the set solution. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things you can try, but really the consensus was just have the set solution, and then as soon as all of the decals are on here, I'm gonna let it cure, and then from there, after it cure, like all of the decals dry and everything like that, we're going to put some clear over the top of it. Don't want the numbers. No. I need to clean my brush, and there's some of the number goo on there, and there's nothing I can do about it. There we are. Now, grab the tweezers. No. We are just going to set it in its place. Very nice. That'll satisfy. Yeah, I need to clean off my brush. Be right back. Yeah, whatever this stuff is, it was definitely kind of gumming up. So, now, we have that, and that. Sorry, just kind of looking at my diagram. I am going to turn the model this way. And we are going to go ahead and put on our docking door, or loading door, whatever you want to call it. Put it on there. Let's go ahead and get our decal ready. I had a system, and now that I'm talking, I'm kind of like losing my system, and so I'm going to try to get back to that. I was holding on to... I'm not left-handed and not really very ambidextrous, and so I was able to kind of like do this and then dip at the same time, but now that I'm talking, it's like 3 things at once, and man, I don't know. Complicated. Let's see what we got here. I got one of these on the bottom in the first shot, and it was super satisfying. And that is not going to be the case here. And that's the acid at work. It was just sliding around on the piece of paper, which is really nice. So now, get our less sharp edge tweezers and kind of push it around a little bit. And we use it to flatten out the edges. Dry off my brush and pull out the excess and smooth out any imperfections. Okay, so now we have these little stripey pieces here. So I don't know what that is, but it's just a stripey piece. So I'm gonna cut off the numbers. Not doing that again. Now let's try our little technique again. So let's grab dip, dip, swipe. There we go. I can do this and talk, guys. This is cool. Yeah, just seeing this come together here at the end has been super satisfying. I really just enjoyed building this model. Really have. But kind of glad to be done. The holidays here, and I'm trying to relax a little bit, and so this has been taking up a lot of my week. So looking forward to relaxing tomorrow. Good food. Okay, so now let's go ahead and slide this, and it's supposed to be down parallel and sit right up next to the lights there. Now it's done. Let's go ahead and dry off our brush and wipe off the excess. This brush is starting to not be so happy. Whatever this acid is weird. It smells funny too, if I'm being real. Okay, let's go ahead and move her over to the other side and do the same thing we just did. And we're coming up on getting close to being done with the sticker portion here. Super cool. As cool as this is, I gotta say, like I said, decals are kind of tedious. So, but the fact that I've only ripped one is kind of amazing. I'm really proud of that. We got a big one coming up, and I'm going to leave that for second for last. Okay. So we should be ready. Let's try this approach. Almost. I'll get better at this one day. But again, I mean, decals are probably the most tricky thing to do in modeling and doing them well. This technique, though, with the set, man, would have been a game changer when I was a kid. Because I used to hate. Ooh, that was nice. There we go. I used to hate decals. Like, hate. I used to hate the process. I just did not like any of it. There we go. Smooth out that edge. Pull out the liquid. Gonna need some down here in a second. Okay. So now, see that down there. Forgot to do my double-ended thing here, but whatever. It's cool. Get my number cut off. And we're down to like 4 stickers, y'all. 4 stickers and then done. Outside of just displaying, which isn't really, you know, super complicated. Oh. I really appreciate you guys coming with me on this journey. It's been a lot of fun figuring out how to do this model, and I've learned so much during this process. For a model that I wasn't planning on doing, it has actually been beneficial. It's going to help the Marauder build. It's going to help the next big build, which, man, this brush is just taking a beating. Doesn't like staying spread out anymore. I'm not going to sacrifice another brush. Thankfully, they're kind of cheap, but it's kind of my favorite brush. Okay. Let's just go ahead and straighten this out. And also, I don't know if I mentioned it again, but I'll mention, I don't know if I said it earlier, but the whole point of the set stuff too is it helps condition the model so it'll set into the grooves. And that's a big deal with these models because there's a lot of grooves. Just go ahead and pull out some of that liquid. Yeah, there was a lot underneath that one. Oops. It's fine. It's not damaging to the model in any way. Okay, now we have 2 tiny ones, and each one of these is going to go right here and right here. And I'll go ahead and show you. It says SS Enterprise on it, which is interesting. Not USS Enterprise, but SS Enterprise. So, like, I'm seeing this in real life, and it's hard to read, okay? So, just want to say that for reference. All right. Now we're going to take that. That's going to go right here. Let's go ahead and dip. Drive our brush. And get one of these incredibly tiny stickers on. I almost painted this panel. Yeah, man. This brush. Oof. I almost painted that panel dark for whatever reason, but I'm glad I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna use a pair of tweezers here. It just kind of goes across the bottom down here. This is going to require the other more fine tweezers. Grab an end. I'm going to set that centered. Right there. Oh, that looks good. Such a small little... Gross. such a small little piece, but yeah, that's really good. Really happy about that. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So, I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it just says SS Enterprise, and that looks super good right there. God. Okay. So let's go ahead and get it positioned correctly. That's also a thing with decals I'm finding. Did not remember that from a kid, but making sure that your decals are positioned in the correct way that you want it to go. I'll just put enough there. I'm not going to bother drying off that brush. Soak it in thinner for a little while and get all of this stuff off. It smells weird. Just that's all I gotta say about that. Not a smart man. Let's go ahead and pop that off. Let's see if I can get this for a shot. Pin it. Boom, baby. I mean, probably needs to lower down just a little bit for man rail. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. And there we go. And we're going to take our jank brush here. Just kind of dab some of that liquid out. It moved it. Not happy about that. So let's go ahead and slide it one more time. Down to 2 stickers, y'all. 2 stickers. The one I've been worried about, however, is this big boy, and it sits right here. And if we don't get this one right, it's going to mess up the model. So I am going to make sure that this thing is facing me nice. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the number. I do not want that number getting in the way. There we go. Number's gone. Let's go ahead and dip away. Get our surface ready. That stuff smells weird. I'm going to put a lot on here just for the sake of making sure it's got a good surface to move across the top of, just in case. Okay. The one I'm nervous about. Grabbing it with my fingers, which is a gigantic no-no. Switch off. Crappy tweezers for the better tweezers. First spot. Second spot. Okay. Get some of my solution up top. I didn't realize how far up it went. Slide it underneath the decal there. Quickly. Oh, we have a rip. But I think we're fine. Actually, I think we're great. I got lucky. Got very lucky. Grab the smoother. Okay. You know, that didn't go so bad. Did get a rip, but it sat real nice. Once I got the front ones up here taken care of. Just gonna pull this. Sorry for being quiet, just focusing. Okay, so now give me my solution. Use it. Got our torpedo launcher right here, sticking up. It's causing a bit of a problem. So I'm just kind of working the decal around it as best as I can. Do the same thing over here. This side's a little bit better. I'm going to poke the decal. Yeah, I'm going to be worried about this one. Okay, well, I'm just not going to be as happy with this one, unfortunately. I'm going to keep working with it. Kind of smooth it out at the edges here. A weird thing to do to the brush. The hair. Well, I knew that this one was going to be a challenge. I'll continue to work with it as it's drying. And I'll be fine with it if it's not super happy. Okay, my friends. We're down to the final decal and the last little bit. So, this has been an adventure. This has absolutely been an adventure. You know, when I started this 5 days ago, it was, oh, that's a great idea for a Christmas present for Matt. You know, and I was like, I'll just build it. And then I'm like, you know, I can't build a model and not film it, right? And so I started the filming process, and it's been hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of work. I'm really proud of the work that I've done here. Not proud of that last decal, but proud of the work that I've done here. I hope Matt likes it. I know he will. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. It's been fun putting it together and shooting it all and doing all of the things and all of the learning that I've done. And yeah, it's this has been an adventure. It really has. And you know, the thing that above all, like, you know, you guys watching and supporting the channel is the biggest thing. You know, these are just like cool nerd things that we get to put up on our shelves that ultimately have no value of any kind whatsoever other than just the value that we put upon them. And so for me, the value that I put upon this is this was the first major model that we've completed. That's an actual model that required glue and paint and all of the things, and to actually be here is an accomplishment. And so I just want to say thank you all for watching and getting to see this and following along. So with all of our models, the very last part that we will put on is going to be the registry with the name. And here we have NX-01 Enterprise. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this off. Sits right in the middle here. Didn't come off as cleanly as I would have liked, but that's fine. Go ahead and push it up just a little bit here. It centers a little bit more. There we go. Spread it out. This will always be how we finish our models when we christen our ship. Especially, well, our Star Trek models. Star Wars models are, and I'm excited about what's coming soon. Picked it up today. My Christmas present to myself. And boy, is it gonna be good. So the N is just slightly over that line. There we are. NX-01 Enterprise. Captain Archer, your ship is ready. And Matt, my friend, just want to say thank you for being such a great friend these last several years. One thing that Matt and I always do is we give each other weird Star Trek, Star Wars gifts. And I think this might be the most unique. But I just want to say thank you, Matt, for being a great friend, a great coworker. Yeah, and a great partner in this YouTube endeavor that we're trying. So just want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to you all. You guys have followed along every step of the way, and you know, without you, it wouldn't be, you know, there wouldn't be much of a reason to do this other than just to build a model for myself. And so, you know, as we can see here, an NX-01 Enterprise is complete. We're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna attempt to fix this up, and then here before the end, you're gonna see me spraying quickly as just a little outro, and then we're going to do some beauty shots on the way out the door. But this is going to be the last bit that I talk during this, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. There's a million things you guys could have done today, and you chose to spend a few minutes watching this video with me, so I just want to say thank you. I'm finishing this up at about 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve, so happy holidays to you if you celebrate. If you don't, have a great day. Hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world, wherever you happen to be. If you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And until we see each other again, my friends, just remember to always live long and prosper.